live somatic manifesting demo applied to setting up and creating multiple income streams. What I want to share today, as of in the previous video, I showed you the insider very quick tour on the tool that I picked of how I'm going to learn and what to set up and what possible income streams that we can have. And I showed you the list inside that learning platform that I picked to learn these from, and all the 22, and I think now they have 22 plus different ways of setting up multiple income streams. Some of them are fully passive, all online. So, but today, since this is the live demo of how can we not sabotage this goal or any of the goals that we want to apply the tools on. So you can watch this for two reasons, two purposes. One is learning how to break free from the old sabotaging patterns that are holding you back from actually manifesting what you want. Or if you're interested in setting up your own passive or multiple income streams, working from your own home or from your own phone, that's also a perfect place for that. So two things happen. I talked about lack of clarity in one of the first videos. That's what holds us back a lot of the times, that we just don't know where to start. We don't know what to pick. We don't know how to step on the path and which path and what is the best. And I don't know if it's going to be the right fit for me, etc. So we tackle that in that video. But most of the time, the lack of clarity is a gateway your subconscious is trying to hold you back from what you want to achieve, because it's a very easy way to do and hack in your mind system saying that, oh, I just don't know what to do and I have a lot of other things to do, so let's just work on those and not really deal with the other things that I actually want to achieve. So that was number one that I had to figure out. Is it just truly lack of clarity, or is it something else going on? And of course, most of the time there's something else going on. That's why we sabotage our dreams, and that's why my life has completely changed in every area since I did my somatic training and started to apply these to manifestation, to life creation, to changing and shifting those old nervous system responses that were holding me back from the things that I wanted to achieve. And this was one of my bucket list, to create the multiple income streams. So once I tackle the clarity, because what do we need? Then you look up ideas, you look up ways. And as I mentioned in the previous videos, I picked from two different options, and I might still do the other one later, just to comparison or have different options. And then I could check the lack of clarity piece, because then I could move forward. That wasn't really the true roadblock. What the true roadblocks are and were, we're going to dive deeper and deeper and deeper, because as you go forward, as things get more challenging and uncomfortable in whatever you want to attract and have in your life, whether if it's relationship, money, business, all of that, they're going to start coming up, bubbling up on the surface. So the second thing that I really needed to look at, and I'm going to walk you through some of the tools and steps, what I use to not sabotage my dreams, to go behind the curtains of the nervous system's ways to hack our subconscious, to stay safe, to stay small, to not really go for the big things, to not show up. So showing up, creating the first video, starting, that was a lot. And it took me not days, weeks to start. So what we need to do then, first you check the first layer that comes up. And that is, oh, I don't have the time right now. Or this is just not the right time. Let me get back to this and circle back to when. So I want you to notice with whatever you are working on, whatever you want to create, whether if it's the multiple income streams or some other topic, if this is something that keeps coming back to you, this is not the right time, or I need to finish this and that first, or I can put more on my shoulders right now, because we want to separate what are the facts and what are the actual subconscious blocks, where and how your nervous system is putting on the brakes, because there's something underneath the surface. So what I needed to look at here is why I'm delaying this. So I want you to ask yourself, whatever is on your bucket list, let's say as a next goal, why are you delaying it? Is this something that keeps coming back to you, that keeps coming back, that you keep putting things to the side and just not step in it, not showing up for it? Just keep telling yourself, yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah, one day I'm going to start, but it's not happening. If that's familiar, ask yourself, what is the fact and what is a story that you add to it and you create it? Because most of the time, when time is a factor, it's usually also a subconscious pathway to keep us away from something that's new, because that's going to be uncomfortable. That's going to be something that we don't know what's on the other side. And when we need to show up, that brings up a lot of hard patterns. And when the time is valid, if you're right before or in the middle of a few weeks vacation, that's probably not the right time to start. And I just came back from one, so I had like a valid excuse to not start, yet it wasn't really valid. Actually, I jumped on this and I purchased this program right when I was there. But I didn't start producing the videos, I didn't start showing up. And when I came back, it still took me days and days and days. So that's when I needed to look up, okay, is the time factor really still a fact? Or is it something that my system is using to avoid the next step? So this is what I want you to look at first, because that's what I needed to dive deeper in. Why I didn't start. And sometimes the first step, just starting, is what's gonna break the ice, and then you're gonna take off from there really big. And that's kind of what happened, and how I did that I'm gonna explain in the next video. But for now, I just want you to ask that question. Is the time factor something that keeps coming back? Or before that even, is the clarity excuse something that keeps coming back? Because that's an easy one to tackle, so feel free to message me about that. And if the time keeps coming back, or you just notice the tendency, is that a tendency? That's the question. For you to keep postponing things in your life, the things that you say you want to do, whether if it's going on a date, whether it's stepping into a purpose, whether if it's switching jobs, whether if it's manifesting more money somehow, whatever it is, just notice the tendency. And when it shows up in one area, it usually shows up in others. And then separate the facts from the stories. And we're going to dive into a lot more into the stories. So this is whatever you want to create and manifest in your life. It's a big, big, big piece to actually make it happen and make it successful. So we tackle the somatic pieces and aspects of how our body is staying small, because that still feels safer, yet we keep shifting and drifting further and further away from our dreams. So if you notice that, walk yourself through these steps, and I'll dive deeper in there in the next videos.